Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub. 2025 Honda CB400. In an era where bikes often blur the lines between digital overkill and mechanical soul, the CB400 emerges like a calm voice of reason, a modern-day classic wrapped in the language of old-school performance and timeless style. For those who understand motorcycles beyond spec sheets and racing numbers, this machine is not just another commuter or weekend toy. It's a conversation with Honda's long-standing engineering ethos. It's what happens when precision, refinement, and reliability are distilled into something that rides like a memory yet moves like the future. The CB400 for 2025 has stayed close to its roots, and that's not a compromise, it's a promise. While many modern motorcycles evolve into aggressive, sharp-angled beasts, the CB400 has taken the path of graceful evolution. At a glance, it looks like a classic standard motorcycle, upright, compact, and approachable. But look closer, and the craftsmanship becomes more apparent. There's a softness to its lines, an organic feel that's hard to find these days. The tank carries that classic teardrop shape, not overly sculpted, just enough curves to invite your eyes and your knees. The chrome-finished circular headlamp, now upgraded with LED internals, keeps the retro identity intact while offering today's lighting performance. Honda hasn't tried to make the CB400 into something it's not. It's not trying to be a cafe racer, not a scrambler, and not a wannabe track machine. It's simply a motorcycle, and that's where its strength lies. Underneath that beautiful classic frame is a newly refined 399 cubic centimeters inline-four engine. Yes, you heard that right, inline-four. In a segment where most middleweights have gone the twin-cylinder route for cost and weight savings, Honda brings back that buttery smooth, high-revving four-cylinder charm that enthusiasts crave. This engine is the heart and soul of the CB400, and it's what makes this bike truly special. With a peak output of 52 horsepower at 10,500 RPM and 38 Newton-meters of torque at 9,000 RPM, the CB400 doesn't just deliver numbers. It delivers an experience. Twist the throttle, and the response is immediate but not overwhelming. It climbs the rev range with a refined eagerness, and the sound is something that brings goosebumps. There's a high-pitched symphony as you approach redline, a smooth crescendo that reminds you why inline-fours are celebrated. The fuel injection system is tuned for seamless delivery, and the 6-speed gearbox shifts with typical Honda precision, light, crisp, and reassuring. You won't be chasing gears or battling a clunky transmission here. This is one of those bikes that disappears underneath you, letting you focus on the ride rather than managing the machine. Whether you're commuting through city streets, carving up back roads, or cruising along the coast, the CB400 feels like an extension of your intent. Ride quality has always been a Honda forte, and the CB400 is no exception. It gets a telescopic front fork setup and twin rear shocks that are preload adjustable. This traditional suspension setup is surprisingly capable. It absorbs road imperfections without wallowing, offering a plush yet connected ride. Handling is neutral, almost telepathic. It leans in with grace, holds the line confidently, and never feels twitchy or reluctant. The 17-inch alloy wheels wrapped in 110 front and 140 rear tires strike a great balance between agility and stability. It's not razor-sharp like a sport bike, but it doesn't need to be. What it offers instead is predictability, a trait that builds rider confidence, especially for those moving up from smaller machines. Braking is handled by dual 296mm front discs with 2 piston calipers and a single 240mm rear disc. ABS comes standard, offering just enough intervention when you need it without being intrusive. The brake feel is progressive, with decent initial bite and strong stopping power when called upon. It's another testament to Honda's philosophy: deliver performance that feels natural, not forced. On the technology front, Honda has kept things modern without drowning the bike in unnecessary gadgets. The CB400 gets a new semi-digital instrument cluster that blends an analog tachometer with a crisp LCD screen displaying speed, gear position, trip info, fuel economy, and more. It's clean, legible, and retains that classic vibe without going full retro. There's also a handy USB-C charging port subtly tucked beneath the handlebar, perfect for phone navigation or charging on the go. And speaking of fuel economy, the CB400 delivers a respectable figure of around 26 to 28 kilometers per liter, depending on your riding style. With a 16-liter fuel tank that gives you a solid touring range, making it a practical choice not just for the city but for weekend getaways as well. Now let's talk price. The 2025 Honda CB400 lands at approximately $7,499, depending on region and optional accessories. It's competitively priced for what it offers, especially considering the rarity of inline-four middleweights in the current market. For many riders, this price represents not just value but access to a unique riding experience that's becoming increasingly hard to find. In countries where it is locally manufactured or assembled, it might come slightly cheaper, but the bottom line is this. The CB400 gives you premium engineering, a legendary powertrain layout, and Honda's bulletproof reliability in a package that doesn't break the bank. So who is this bike really for? It's for the purist who respects a machine that's mechanically expressive. It's for the everyday rider who wants comfort and style without sacrificing performance. It's for the new rider looking for a forgiving platform with room to grow. And for the experienced rider who wants something that reminds them why they fell in love with motorcycling in the first place. It's not a bike that begs for Instagram likes or Red Bull sponsorships. It's not a machine that dazzles with gimmicks. Instead, it's the bike that starts every day, handles every road, and never complains. It's a partner in your journey, not a showpiece, but a companion. And what about the intangible factor, the soul of the bike? That's where the CB400 truly shines, because it has heritage. Its DNA traces back to Honda's golden age of motorcycles, the CB750, the CB500-4, the legendary CBX. And while the CB400 isn't trying to be a replica of any of them, it carries forward that same spirit. Performance with civility, speed with balance, excitement with longevity. In an age where many bikes feel like temporary tech statements, the CB400 feels like it was built to last. It's the kind of bike you can grow with, the kind you pass down to your kid, the kind that becomes part of your story. You can get it in a variety of colors this year: pearl glare white with red frame highlights, matte gunpowder black metallic for that stealth look, and of course, the iconic candy red that pays homage to the old CB classics. Each color has its own presence, but all are finished with the kind of attention to detail you'd expect from Honda. Polished switchgear, finely stitched seat material, and tight body panel gaps that speak volumes about its build quality. So, if you're looking for a motorcycle that cuts through the noise, that doesn't overwhelm you with tech or drown you in marketing hype, if you want something that connects you to the pure essence of riding without sacrificing modern-day usability, then the 2025 Honda CB400 might just be the perfect motorcycle for you. It's honest, it's refined, it's spirited, and above all, it's built with love for those who ride not just to arrive, but to feel. Thanks for riding with us here on Bike Culture Hub. If this review spoke to you, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more deep dive rides into the world of two wheels, and share it with someone who still believes motorcycles are more than just machines. See you in the next one. Ride safe, ride free.